All right, it is time for us. We said we were going to take your questions. By the way, guys, want to remind you one more time. You can tweet to us anytime, but particularly right now because we're taking your questions live. Tweet your question or your comment using the hashtag #TheStrainAS. So tweet to us, and we will address your question now. We're going to take a bunch of them right now before we end the show tonight. So let's go to the first one. I'm going to have a hard time reading the whole thing because I'm being blocked by a camera. But Shiragamada writes, greatest vampire show of all time? Mine's a tie between Angel and Buffy. Thanks.
Nope.
It depends on what you're looking for.
Show has to be show.
If you're looking for a scientific sci-fi mystery show, then this. But if you're looking for Vampire Diaries, I don't think this is it.
No, this thing, you know, it's funny thing is, I'm actually one of these guys. I am a big fan of Angel. I am a big fan of Angel, but I am not a fan of Buffy. Which is, I think I'm the only guy alive who really likes Angel, but is not a big fan of Buffy. Is this going to be the greatest vampire show of all time? Way too early to tell. But I will say this. It's a really good start. They've opened a lot of doors. There are a lot of narrative possibilities here that I wasn't expecting. I thought maybe it would be cheesy having the old guy who knows what's going on right from the beginning of the show, but as it went on, I really started to dig him, and that is,
I love it.
That is a badass sword.
Right?
That is with a curved snake serpent. It's like, okay, I want to see this guy do business.
Yeah.
And are we forgetting about the weird heart that was pumping that he's
Oh
like,
my
oh,
God,
you hungry?
And he's talking to it.
Clearly,
He's talking to it.
Clearly, a vampire heart still has the, you know, the creepy little
Yeah, it's
wormy
the same.
Yeah, the little wormy.
It's the same thing that the
he's like, I
guy
don't know if I
who
can
was
do
doing the
this again.
autopsy had. I mean, it's the exact same thing.
I'm guessing that heart belongs to somebody he knew. He's talking to it. Someone who may have,
became
lost
a vampire.
the battle
He had
during
to
the
kill
last
somebody,
time, and then he
probably.
kept their heart as like a reminder or something.
Yeah.
That is so
and he
romantic.
feeds it.
It's touching.
It's beautiful.
Feeds
Maybe they
it.
went to
Touched.
prom together. There's like a corsage for it. I don't know.
Yeah, no, but I think you're right though, because he said, remember in the airport, he was talking about, he's like, everyone on that plane, dead or alive, has to die. So it's possible
They
that
gotta burn them, cut their heads off, whatever.
and burn the coffin because that's what keeps the
Decapitate
parasites,
them.
right? So he potentially had to kill one of his loved ones because there was no other way, you know, to stop it. And he said too, I dealt with this once, I can do it again.
Right, and if he's making the focus, you know, love is what's going to kill us all, clearly he's had a first-hand experience at that
Oh, I
point.
didn't even think about that. Yeah.
So
That makes
I think
total
that
sense.
there's definitely...
So this has happened before.
Right.
So could it be the greatest vampire show of all time? It's still way too early to tell, but I will say this. I have never seen a vampire show like this.
I haven't either.
Because this is no Vampire Diaries. This is no Angel. This is no Buffy.
Although on the point of Angel,
But it's also
the
not Walking
whole
Dead.
the card and the combination of the evil guys at the big window reminded me a little of the Wolfram and Hart thing. Exactly.
Because what was the big German guy's name? Stoneheart.
Stoneheart. I was gonna say there's a heart in it, and I was like, that is so Wolfram and Hart. And I hope that the person who asked that question, I hope you noticed that. I'm wondering if they're going to do something like an evil law firm or something. I don't know, maybe the quarantine chick is a member of the evil law firm, and that's
the evil.
You know, they made a huge point. I mean, maybe it's just
I agree with that.
She made a huge point to say what her name was.
The law firm.
You know, this is the name of the law firm.
It did seem a little obvious that they're you're this. Some of the die was a little bit too
they're trying to explain.
Yeah,
the first episode though. What are they? How are they? If they didn't do
That's
that,
true.
I would.
I thought there was a lack of exposition, frankly, that I appreciated it. But that
But-
may also be because they did it over an hour or 40 minutes instead of trying to cram everything into
Didn't
an
it
hour,
feel though
so.
like once the coroner found, and we got to go on to the second question here, but once the coroner found the little incision on their necks, that the first thing they didn't say was,
Alien.
hey,
Do the
we should run to the survivors and see if they've got this on their neck too.
And that was what I literally was. That's what I thought was going to happen. Because
Right.
what the hell is going on with the survivors? Nobody knows.
Also, isn't oh no, we do have to move on.
Yeah, let's get on to the second question here. And the second question, we're almost out of time, so this will be our last question tonight. But listen, guys, if you are watching this either live or pre-recorded or whatever, you can still tweet to us using the hashtag #TheStrainAS, and we will respond to you either on next week's show or we'll just tweet back to you ourselves. But for now, let's get to our last question for the night. And this question comes to us from @Joe Geiger Jr. Thank you. How do you guys? I'm going to move a little bit. How do you guys see Sean Austin's character progressing? It all depends on what is the nature of his connection to the Germans. Was that better?
That was wonderful.
Is he in debt to them? Is he in league with them? They were a little vague on that, which I think was the right thing to do, to be vague.
Yeah.
I got the feeling maybe he's in debt, but I don't know. But where his character goes from here, it's really going to depend on what is the nature of that connection.
Honestly, I hope. I'm all about like government conspiracies. I'm all about that stuff. Excites the crap out of me. So I really hope that he knows. Maybe not the full extent of what's going on with these people, but I hope that it's not just him being in debt for gambling or something. I hope that he has.
I hope he doesn't know the end of that he's helping with the end of humanity.
That's just because
that would be the end of
humanity. He's Samwise Gamgee.
But you know they're gonna give him a hero moment where he gets to choose, you know, and he gets to make up for past wrongdoings. And I know that I contributed to this, but I can still fix it, and throw himself on the sword.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not definitely going to happen. We don't know, but that's my guess. I mean, they didn't throw that in there by accident.
No, they didn't, because Guillermo del Toro is super liberal, and he said, like, I'm too liberal or something, and he hates anything authoritarian, anything that has, like, you know, some kind of bureaucratic way to it. So I think he's gonna, because I was on the side of thinking that you know.
No way, you guys.
Sean was in debt, but now I'm starting to think, oh no, Guillermo's trying to make some huge statement about like the government being corrupt or something.
Oh, a lot of possibilities. Once again, lots of open doors. Listen, guys.